Hi, I'm Marilyn Mueller. I'm a senior leader with Premier Designs Jewelry. My husband Cliff and I have been with Premier Designs since 1992. And we live in a small town in Illinois, not a big metropolis, but I just want to share a little bit about my Premier story. We have two daughters, Carrie and Amy, and five grandkids. And we live in, like I said, in a small town, and I want to tell you how I got into Premier Designs. First of all, I didn't wear jewelry. I wasn't looking for anything like this. I couldn't imagine standing up and talking to people. I did have a woodcrafts business and taught decorative art and painting classes, which really was a stretch for my comfort zone because, again, I had to stand up and teach. And that's where I thought I was happy. That's what I thought I wanted to do. And a friend from church wanted me to have a jewelry show. Now remember, I wasn't wearing jewelry, I had no passion for it, and was scared to death. Well, she would check every month because I put her off. I didn't want to waste her time because I thought, she's coming an hour to drive to my house. Who's going to buy jewelry? I live in a small town. I wasn't wearing jewelry. I had a little tiny earring and a little tiny cross, and that was pretty much my comfort zone at that point. But, she kept calling and checking. And I thought, why does she keep calling? I'm still busy running these kids and with these classes. But you know what? After 4 months, she said, well, how about if I do one of your woodcraft shows and you do a jewelry show for me? And I went, I can do that. So I went and set up my woodcrafts, and and one of the gals who's now in my upline, Sandy Conway, which most of you might know, she was the last customer there, which was a stage. They were looking at me because they knew they wanted to offer this to me, and I wasn't interested. They kept asking me questions like, well, how much do you make when you do your wood crafts? We make 50%. And I'm going, I don't know. I just work a lot. And I kept wondering, why are they telling me all this? Well, of course, it took them forever to make up their mind of what they wanted. So I packed it up and went home. And then I had the jewelry show at my house. I was shocked. People came. They bought. I got to pick all this free jewelry out. And remember now, I wasn't wearing jewelry, so I didn't have a clue what to pick. I was probably one of the worst hostesses, and then had all these half-price items to get to. Well, then we were invited to hear the business opportunity from, guess who? Andy Horner, the CEO of our company. So Cliff and I went, and because we were always open to check things out, and we heard the business opportunity. Now, my husband's now retired state police, and he sat in the back of the room like this, listening and taking it all in. Well, he was the one that saw the big picture. Now, remember, I'm scared to death, didn't have self-esteem, I couldn't imagine doing anything like this, and after hearing the business opportunity, my husband said, I think you should do this. I said, are you out of your mind? I can't do this. I was very, very, very nervous and very intimidated by that. But back then I pretty much did what he said, which that's changed. But anyway, I did it, I went along with it, but the gal that sponsored me held my contracts for 3 days because she was sure I was going to cancel. I was that scared. But you know what I have found? It did meet my needs back then, and God knew what I was going to need in this business. He put this business in front of me. It wasn't me searching it. He knew what I needed. It met financial needs. It helped pay for college for our kids. It paid for 2 big weddings, and I am happy to say I'm a very good spoiler of my 5 grandkids right now, and loving every minute of it. So it met those needs, but now it's changed. It still is meeting needs, but it's allowing me to go and help you, help the people in my business that God has put in my life, because I feel that I can go and help train and motivate and love on them, and I'm a hugger, so everybody's going to get a hug from Marilyn. And it's just different now than it was years ago, but it's a good different because I'm still in it because God put me in it, and I'm just going to be here and until He tells me I'm done. But that's not going to happen for a long, long time. Well, I'll tell you what. I know that Sarah Capehart came to one of my jewelry shows in 1998. And now imagine this. Here was a young mom with a 6-month-old on her hip, and she had $7. I found out she had $7 in her checking account. She came to that show just because her friend wanted her to, and she had on no jewelry, no makeup. And I love the fact when she walked in, she had socks on with her sandals. And I'm going, whoa, got a college girl here. And, we had a good time, but she did book a jewelry show with me. And when I went to hostess coach her, I always shared the business with her. But Sarah gave me absolutely no indication she was even interested in doing this business. And so, Sarah, I would like for you to share your Premier story because it's a unique and different story.
Yeah. Thanks, Marilyn. Well, as you can tell, I have one of the greatest Premier moms in the business, and I love working with Marilyn. And Premier came along in a time in my life when I really needed it. My parents had just gone to the mission field, so Marilyn's been more than just a Premier sponsor to me. She was someone I would call when I actually had mom questions too, because I was living away from home with my husband while he was finishing college in the same little town that Marilyn was living in. That's how we met. But I was a new stay-at-home mom. I had given up teaching so I could stay home with my daughter, and I now have 2 daughters, and I love them. I am so excited to tell you that through Premier, I was able to make extra money that allowed me to not have to go back to teaching school. At the time when I came to that jewelry show with Marilyn, I was teaching piano lessons, I was subbing, there were so many things I was doing just trying to make ends meet, and I was afraid I was going to have to go back that fall and take a teaching job and put my daughter in daycare. Instead, I had another daughter later that year, but Premier let me stay home. Through the years, it's helped me send my kids to Christian school. It has given me the freedom to be able to volunteer at my church, be involved in all of the girls' activities that I want to go to and be at, and still provide an excellent stream of income. It has just been a godsend to me. So, girls, our stories are all different, and Premier can meet so many needs from so many different standpoints, but most of us start in Premier to make some extra money. Most of us are looking for a way to just add maybe even just $500 a month to what we make, or some of us needed to replace a teacher's income. Whatever you want to do, I want to assure you that you can trust Premier Designs. Marilyn, what are a few of the things that you love about Premier and helps us know we can trust Premier?
Well, I love the fact that this is a debt-free company, which you don't even hear of in this day and age. And if they say they're going to do something, they do it. And basically, we're always going to make 50% of everything we sell. The marketing plan is not going to change. They invest in us. They invest in people. And it's just a very well-organized, well-run company that we know that they're going to always stand behind their product. And you can trust them.
You can. Well, we love you. We want you to know we're here for you. If you have questions, you call your Premier mom, but you also call me and Marilyn, because we're your leadership too, and we love you and we're here for you. Thanks for joining our Premier family.